Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and boy am I excited to be looking at a new Batman Beyond figure. Boy am I disappointed that it's still made by Mattel and they still don't know what the heck they're doing. Oh my goodness. It's the Collect and Connected Lobo wave of DC Multiverse figures. This is like a new version of the DC Universe Classics. If you guys haven't seen, they have been releasing some of these figures with the newer molds and things like that. But this is the first batch I'm reviewing because of this figure right here. I had to get a new Batman Beyond, and I was so hopeful that it was as good as it looked like it could be, and it's not. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but there's plenty to talk about, so let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Before we get into the review, I want to let you guys know, if you're new to the channel or maybe just didn't know this already, I do have a bunch of playlists to organize my multiple thousands of reviews, and one of those playlists is Batman figure reviews. So if you are into Batman and or his villains or side characters, there are dozens, if not hundreds, I think there's probably hundreds of reviews of just Batman related stuff in that playlist. It'll be right up there in that corner, so make sure you check that out. Now let's go ahead and talk about this guy. He stands just about 6 3/4 inches to the top of his ears, closer to 6 3/8 inches to the top of his head, which makes him just about 17 centimeters to the top of the ear and 16.25 centimeters to the top of his head. And at first glance, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's a Batman Beyond that's nice and slender and looks pretty good. And you're not wrong. That's the right way to go about making a Batman Beyond figure. However, it's like Mattel just doesn't know how to action figure. They just don't. They try. This does show that they are trying, but it's a little bit too little too late, I think. And this figure is a perfect example. It's solid black. It required almost no effort. A little bit of paint on the belt, a little bit of paint on the chest, and eyes. That's really all they had to worry about, so the paint job they got right. But the sculpt is just so wonky. I don't know what the heck they're doing. Like, anatomy much? It's just bad. Yes, the biceps are supposed to be a lot shorter than the forearms. The upper arm on a man, significantly shorter than the forearms. Not this much. His arms look really weird. He's got tiny, tiny, tiny upper arms and long, unsculpted for the most part, lower arms. So it just looks weird. It looks unfinished. The chest is a very strange looking chest, and it may not show up on camera, guys. You may have to take my word for this. Maybe you don't care about anatomy as much as I do, but the chest is weird. It's very cleavagey in the middle, which isn't necessarily terrible, but then the pecs bulge out right in the middle area right here, and then they just suck right into the back. Like, they're very curvy, like almost like boobages. So his pecs are more like chesticles, and they're just not good. It's not gonna kill it if you don't care about anatomy or don't know about it or whatever. It's okay, but it's just weird. It's really weird anatomy. And then they sculpted this weird lip around the shoulder, which is just like, who does that? That's not a thing you should do. What is that? That's not part of the human body. You don't need that for the articulation. Why is it there? And then they have print work all over his back. Like, who does that? What? And his head's probably about 2% too big. It's a little bit too big. Not much, I'll let it go, but it is technically too big. And then the legs are probably okay for this body. However, they use legs just like these for the thicker bodies. We'll get to that in other reviews. Aesthetically, this guy's only a 6 out of 10. It's just not what it should be. We'll get to more of it as we go through the articulation, but it's so disappointing that they suck so bad at some things. Okay, moving on to accessories. This guy does have a bunch of accessories. We have 2 heads. We have the neutral head, and then we have the one with the open mouth, and I like alternate heads, so that is awesome. We have a couple different hands. We have one gripping hand and one fist hand that come on him in the package, and then we have 2 karate chop or flying gliding hands. So that's nice enough, except one gripping hand with like a circular grip is not that helpful when you have 4 oversized batarangs. Why do we have 4? I don't know. He can only hold 1 at a time. Can he hold it well? No, not really. And also one of mine has no red on the side of it. So it's just like they just can't do anything right. Why are they so bulky and big and he can't really hold them? Like, make the hand so he can hold them, damn it. And then lastly, we have his red wing things. And I don't know much about Batman Beyond, no pun intended, the cartoon. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but these are meant to be connected from his torso to his arms, like a bat's wing or like a flying squirrel, not like airplane wings. If this is how it is in the comics, fine, but if it is like the way I said, then what the heck is this? Because there's no way to even like, oh, that looks good. No, it doesn't. It looks doofy. I don't like that, but it's included. So accessory-wise, he gets an 8 out of 10. That's a lot of accessories, even though the 4 batarangs are kind of worthless. He can hold at least one of them. Interchangeable hands, interchangeable head, and maybe okay wings. That seems fair enough. Okay, let's get into the articulation, because boy are we gonna be impressed with how poorly they executed this figure. The head is on a double ball peg, which affords that much range. Might as well not even be there. It does rotate though, so hey, rotation, that's it. For the shoulders, we can raise the arms up better than horizontal, so that's all right. Full rotation's fine, though very stiff because of the sculpt. Bicep swivel is okay. Single jointed elbow gives you that much. It's 2019 and we can't get 90 degrees out of a bend on an anchor figure on a wave. Like the most anticipated figure they've made in a long time. They can't bend his arm 90 freaking degrees. It's a joke. And then the wrists are super fat with little skinny hands that connect to them. So they have a rotation and a hinge, but the hinge is so long on the hand, it's just like the weirdest looking figure. That's like a mainstream figure. Ab crunch goes back, but there's no sculpt work. Goes forward. Takes a lot of effort. Goes forward. Really just poorly sculpted. It's like they didn't try again. Waist twist is fine. That's good. The belt looks nice. Belt's a very, very nice piece. So is the bat logo. The heads are nice too. I'll give them that. The heads look okay. The hips go all the way out to the side. Look at that. Full on splits. Look at that. Going forward. Decent range. Can't go back too far. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is okay, but the kneecap sticks out like it's armor for some reason. It should just be all one sculpt. Don't know why that's like that. You don't need your kneecap to overlap your quads. Just make it all one sculpt. These are easy concepts. Ankle goes back, that's fine. It goes forward, that's fine. And then the ankle rocker is awful. It's like he's wearing high heels and they couldn't put the peg any better, but they could have, they just didn't. So it's like his hips are good, his shoulders are good, everything else is not good. So articulation gets this guy a 6 out of 10. It's just not good. And the feet are like offset in this weird way. Everything about this figure is mediocre. Not everything, I guess. Okay, time for final verdict. This figure is mediocre. It's really disappointing given that it should have been so much better. You know how long people have wanted a good Batman Beyond figure? Very long time, and I know all the Mezco people are saying, we got one, and you did, so congratulations. But this figure is not what people wanted, not what anybody deserved for the price point. It's basically just a remold of a bunch of parts with a Batman head, a little bit of paint, and very poor design and engineering. Very disappointing. Get it if you're a Batman fan because you're not going to get anything better anytime soon, but don't expect to like it. You're not going to like it a whole lot. And you might like it not at all if you are interested in anatomy or good engineering. So my overall verdict is... let's see. Let's separate my personal feelings from the objective rating system, which is so absolutely important and crucial and definitely not a joke in most cases. I'm going to give him 6 oversized batarangs out of 10. It's just so blah. I can't rate it any higher. Man, that's a depressing video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, though, give it a thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. I'd appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to do it. Like I said, I've got tons and tons of reviews on my channel, so plenty of stuff there to help you out. Plenty of fun stuff to watch. So check that out. And in the meantime, keep collecting.